What is happening in Ned J Gaming Dude here? And so I've explained, I've told, I've been absolutely on the case to say that Isekai is pretty much some of the worst stuff that's ever happened in terms of just the sort of anime streaming as a whole. And what kind of sucks the most is that it's never gonna stop, I don't think. And it's unfortunate because most isekai that I've watched are pretty bad. There are some good ones, like the slime isekai. There's a bunch more done much if you want to count that. Sword Art Online is okay as long as Kirito is not the main character. But there are very few cases in which I think I would rather have Kirito as the main character than the smartphone isekai, which was one of my most hated isekais of all time, and is kind of one of the main perpetual reasons for why there shouldn't be so many of them, because most of them are about as lack of it looks okay, but that's the best thing that they've got. We're getting a second season of this. The smartphone isekai is giving us a second season. I am so annoyed by this. I couldn't when I put this on Mal, I give this a 3 out of 10. I said this was horrible. The main character sucks, has literally little to no personality whatsoever. The concept of harem is completely broken, so I am actually going to spoil the ending of the season 1 of the show, which was the main character having to pick a girl, and obviously I feel like that was the least important thing about the show, but because we're in it for the harem, that felt like kind of the point, and then it completely destroys that by saying, you know what, all the girls are okay with polygamy. And I sat there and I stared at the ceiling for a moment, and I was like, okay. The story is barely existent. There's not a lot of anything happening. The main character has a smartphone, which is, I think, one of the worst possible things you could have, because I feel like it makes everyone think that smartphones are the greatest thing in the world. But let's be real for a moment. A show that had a smartphone in it that takes place in another world that is still so much better because it was about educating other races within an isekai was Outbreak Company. Otaku gets moved into another world, and he teaches the characters about otaku culture, not just about phones, but about manga, about anime, about how the races that he's currently dealing with actually that he's dealing with face to face with him, how they're looked at in the world in which he came from. That is at least better, rather than in smartphone isekai. We killed you by accident. I don't have anything positive to say about the show except for that it looks okay in terms of animation and art. That's about it. That's why I didn't give it a 1 out of 10. I just gave it a 3. I wish I could give it a 0, but yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? The girls are a little too cute. But other than that, the main character sucks. The story is non-existent. A smartphone is not even it could be an interesting thing to use. Gate did a much better job of using technology in a fantasy world, way better than this. I thought that the two, the single dimension characters felt a bit gimmicky, but sure, whatever. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. But the main character is just so insufferably bad. I don't know. It genuinely does make me wonder why. So, apparently it's still popular. And I don't know how to feel about that. So, yeah. I figured I'd share a little bit about why I personally hate isekais, because this was one of the shows that just made me hate it. There's probably a lot more good stuff out there, like Mushoku Tensei, which does deserve a second season. The fact that Slime Isekai is getting a movie, Scarlet something or other, has had multiple seasons. It deserved it, because it's like Naruto except better. Because it's just the main character making a bunch of friends and then going down this completely different path around second or third season. genuinely good like character development. My friend says the sword isekai is actually pretty good, so being reborn as a sword. This one definitely, and also like the fact that the vending machine isekai I talked about before was getting an anime adaptation. The fact that it's okay at best, it's just really bland, and it's more just about the girls that are following the main character or carrying the main character around because he can't even talk. As a vending machine, like, we must be running out of ideas at this point. I mean, Drugstore in Another World was fun. That was a fun, cutesy romp. Like, doing slice of life stuff in a virtual world, like, not a virtual world necessarily, but like in another world, seems like a nice thing. But you gotta have more than just a smartphone as an idea. Yeah. I'm losing sleep over this for no reason, so yeah, I'm gonna talk about Blue Exorcist getting a new season anyway, so I guess I'll talk about that, hopefully in slightly more positive light than just kind of trying to lose breath, trying to explain why, like, the show just isn't that good. Why is it getting a second season? How is it still popular? If you're still watching this video, which I highly doubt, but if you're actually interested in, like, tell me, what do you like about the show? I don't get it, because it's been years since I've watched it, and I've had nothing but negative things to say about it. Surely, like, someone could tell me something good about it, so that at least, like, I can kind of be like, okay, I get that, other than it looking good, and the girls being cute. That's about it. Because the harem stuff kind of falls apart completely because of the polygamy aspect at the end of season 1. Which was kind of like, The point of a harem is to pick one, alright? I don't know. I feel like I've completely lost the plot here, but it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, but other than that, I'll see you guys next time.